it gives it a lot of penetration. With the driver, it'll hit it flatter. If you're someone that really likes to hit the ball high with the driver, you just have to play the ball further forward so we can get a little bit more loft on the club at impact, and just release it this way, as opposed to conventional release where we're releasing it that way. My ball flight is sort of medium trajectory. It's not super high, and that's because my attack angle or my path is very into out. So just watch where my my club is in relationship to my shoulder girdle, my shaft. Now it's grass is all wet and boggy here, guys. Watch again. Pressure down. If I can give you a description, if you had a glass top table here and you had a polishing cloth and you wanted to polish the glass top table, which is parallel to the ground, you'd do that. You'd have to put pressure down. That's what I feel. I feel my backswing is like that. It's a pressure down type swing, a type action. So I'm going to pressure down. Guys, I'll set the camera up. The sun is getting down, which is good. In another 20 minutes, it'll be low enough so I can hit some shots that way, and you'll be able to see that plane, and you'll be able to see the ball flight, I think. So in the next video, I'll hit some shots this way with that plane. Now, guys, clearly for people that have always had the ground is so wet here, guys, and it's just the grass is so long. For people that have had an upright swing their whole golfing life, to go from here to here is quite a task, but you can do it. It's all about eliminating the hands becoming independent in the backswing and doing something deliberately in the backswing. If the hands become totally passive and non-independent and they just go with the pressure and the turning of the shoulders here, the club can't get up, guys. It can't get up. But if I go to here and then I apply some hands, that's where the upright plane comes from. Now, a lot of great players do it. Some of the best players that have ever played the game do it. But I think that separation, the amount of separation we get here from the arms being connected here in a normal backswing, here, as opposed to taking it here and the arm. See how my arms separate? Now they become very flappy and floppy. And it's very hard to put a body pivot release into the shot. That's why Hogan was so good with his impact, because he didn't have to go here and then drop under plane. He was there. He just went round here, loaded it up, and then just went round here, loaded it up, and then just body released it, held onto the club and just body released it like that. That's a body pivot release. He never went here and fired that. He said he wished he had 3 right hands, but if you look at his impact position was here. Bent right wrist, which, guys, believe it or not, caused the bowed left wrist. Everybody tried to emulate the bowed left wrist. That's why people could never swing like Hogan, because he didn't do that deliberately. He did that deliberately. He kept that angle that he formed in the backswing here, and he just body released it and kept that angle there in that right wrist through the ball, which caused this. But everybody tried to do that, where it was this was causing that. And I actually mentioned that to Mo Norman. He totally agreed with me. He called it a goose chase, a wild goose chase. He said everybody's been chasing Hogan's swing and they could never catch it because they didn't know where it was hiding. And Ben Hogan had that famous line where he said, the secret's easy to see in my golf swing. You just have to know where to look. And everybody was looking everywhere else except there. There. And that was Hogan. That's why Hogan finished like this, guys, because this angle was still here. I'm digressing, but it's interesting. Hogan finished here, and he looked like that at the finish of the swing. Of course, that angle was there. He never let that go away. That's why he always looked like this at the finish of the swing. Here. Yeah. Club was pointing this way. Never pointed that way, because he held that angle. So, the message here is, for this video, is if you want to have a consistent backswing plane, and you don't want to go into single axis, because that's a big step. Of all the people I had come to me for Mo Norman lessons, to get them to change from their conventional swing was nigh impossible. It was really tough, and there was only probably 20 people over the course of 10 years that really picked up the swing and could really do it. Because to go from here, guys, double axis to single axis, and to go here in the backswing as opposed to there in the backswing, that's a bridge too far for most people. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, might just hit one this way, and maybe you can see the backswing plane. Pressure down. See there, guys? See how the club is there? Now I'm doing that. Normally I, with the Mike Austin swing, I try and release it this way so that I can get a little bit of that. But Hogan's was very, very deliberate. Very deliberate. Ground is really wet, guys. I'll just tee one up. And I haven't got my spikes on. I never wear spikes when I practice, but when the grass is wet and long, it's very hard. So just watch on the downswing the plane. So I've still got that angle there. Now that's a really, really nice shot. Now I like to play power fade. My natural shot's a draw, but I don't like it. I like to hit the ball dead straight and the ball just falls off at the end. Like Nicklaus and Tiger and Hogan hit it. Just dead straight. Even Trevino. Trevino didn't bend it. Trevino hit it dead straight and it just fell off. That's a power fade. You don't lose any distance with that. You can even get a power fade to run. But you'll never get a fade like a slice fade to run, because there's too much of this type of process on the ball that when it hits the ground it wants to go over there and not forward. But if you have minimal and it's like a rifling type shot, it just goes there and peels like that, it'll hit the ground and kick forward. Okay. pressure down. There it is, there you go. Now they're just little 3/4 shots. The longer the swing gets, the further you'll end up around here, but you still should have that configuration. If you can maintain that trail wrist angle in any golf swing that you had at address, even if we want to release the club this way as a release, we don't want the club to flip over like that. We want to release it that way. Here, that's Mike Austin. All right. Pressure down. See here, guys? Okay, guys, that's the basic message about playing. That's address playing. That's the shaft. Nobody swings on there unless you swung the club like that. I can actually hit the ball like that. I played a full 18 holes once for a bet years ago, and I think 1990, with a guy who bet me that I couldn't play a whole round, and he was vigilant watching me, and it was a lot of money, and I played down and I hit the ball hit the ball great, and it was a pretty tough golf course where you had to work it both ways, but it was great. Okay, maybe it wasn't like that, but it was lower than I normally swing, but I felt like it was like that. Okay, guys, we'll see what it's like, what the light's like, and I might be able to show you some playing. I'll hit some shots down range there. The sun's gone down, another 10 minutes, it'll be okay. Okay, guys, just a little bit of stuff today. We'll get back on the Mike Austin wrecking ball pivot. I've got a little bit of a nagging sacrum pain at the moment because I'm getting back to my full training in the gym. I'm feeling fantastic. Got all my strength back. So yeah, I've been, and my body, for a few months was away from the heavy weights. Well, now it's back into it, and it's just put a little bit of strain on my lower back. So I'm not going all out at the moment. Okay, guys, we'll see what the light is like.